Hello everybody, I just want to show you here just a quick item that I did here for Game Creator that's actually pretty handy whenever you want to create a pause screen that you want to go to and you know have no hassle of have to set up an UI all the time. So I just created this little UI that if you press whatever you deem to be the pause key, it'll just pause the game, even set the time of pausing, the speed of it, and all that stuff. Pretty handy. Now, just going into how it is set up. It is actually, once it's imported, it's going to be under plugins, DM customizations, and Pause UI. I currently have no samples other than what's on my GitHub. But it's actually fairly simple. So it's got a prefab which is pretty self-explanatory. All you need to have is kind of like the pause UI at the root of it, so that it has the pause time. So basically, what's the actual play time when you pause the game? What's the resume time? So if you want it to be, to resume, or that the game speed is actually twice as fast as it normally is. So right now it's going to be 1x because it's at current time. But if I pause and then unpause, this guy is going to go a little bit faster because that's what I set the pause, the resume time to be. And so you can play around with those settings a little bit. There's also the duration, how long you want it to take before it fully pauses. So for example, I'm gonna set this to that, and sorry, the pause time to 0 so that it stops completely. The duration, I'm gonna set it so that it takes like a second between starting and stopping, and also it works the other way around. It's from stop to back to resume time is actually going to use that resume time as well. And then the layer, just so that it's handy for anybody that wants to have that in there. Um, all right, so if I here, I'm just gonna jump and then we're gonna pause. So it takes a second before it fully pauses. Can't move anything here, and then yeah, and that's pretty much it. If you wanted to like pause pretty much right away, you can just set the transition to 0, and it's basically 0 1 0 0. If you want to travel back in time like Bender. So here you have those settings that you can use. And if I go ahead and jump and pause, it immediately pauses and resumes, of course. And that's pretty much it for now. Now, as to how this is set up, it's actually fairly simple. So I already have a prefab like the one that I showed here. So this is my trigger that I have, and we can actually rebuild it if needed. But in simple terms, it's just basically a trigger that starts um, basically a condition. The condition is checking. So if the game is currently not paused, then, which actually I do have a condition for it, and I can show you here. I got actually a condition and an instruction. Basically, it is just either to check whether the pause is enabled or not, and the other one's to open it and close it. So when you're opening, you have to specify which UI you want it to show, but then when you're closing, you don't actually have to specify what it is. It'll just close whatever it is there. And one of the handy things in here, for example, is you currently don't have, if you see here in my hierarchy, there's no item for this pause UI. And if I go ahead and start playing this and I pause, you can see here the pause UI appears. If I unpause, it disables the whole item, but if I can pause, it's going to continuously reuse that one item. So it's just the only thing that's it only uses one slot on your hierarchy, so that you don't keep spawning multiple items of those. Something else that is important is that you have to have an event system set as the input, then the new input system, just because that's what's used in Game Creator. And just FYI, this what I call micro module is only available, or only, or I currently use it with the Game Creator 2. So I have no plans of putting it back to Game Creator 1. Just sorry for anyone that would be asking about that. And yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell the pause screen, which is fairly simple, fairly bare bones, but it's meant to do one job and do it well. Just pause the game and unpause the game. That's pretty much it. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.